So Andrew Tate today was released on house arrest. Was released from house arrest by the Bucharest court. The Romanian court ordered the release of ordered the release from house arrest of the self-proclaimed misogynist Tate, who's awaiting trial on charges of human trafficking. The Bucharest Court of Appeal said in a written ruling that it replaces the house arrest measure with that of judicial control for a period of 60 days from today until October the 2nd. Tate and his brother Tristan, both of whom have dual US and British citizenship, they were charged back in June with two Romanian female suspects of human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. And all the suspects, they have denied all the allegations. And there was a big thing. Tate was out with the press, like a 1 minute, just bullshit statement, typical BS things that Tate will come out with. He didn't mention the Matrix though. I think it was more just like trying to blame the mainstream media. I mean, you've got this stuff with Tate. Tate's, he's suing. Him and his brother are suing a woman in Florida, saying that she has falsely accused them of imprisoning her in Romania, which ultimately led to the arrest that they had on human trafficking charges. It seems though that this thing could just go on and on. But with this, hearing about this, my first thought was, oh, he's been released from house arrest. Oh shit, that means we're going to even hear more and more from him now. He's going to be more in our faces, trending more on Twitter. He's going to be showing up and traveling about maybe the UK and America, going on any podcast that will have him, that has a little bit of a following, and just spouting a lot of shite when it comes to how the Matrix is out to get him. Andrew Tate has come up. He just speaks a lot of bollocks, really. I remember the interview he did on the BBC where he claims he gives 25 million a year to charity. I doubt that very much. Doubt he barely gives a thing to charity. And then he also used that same number, 25 million, to say that that's how much the quote unquote elites were going to pay him for him to keep quiet. Again, that's maybe just a bit of a a bit of an exaggeration, blowing something out of proportion, whatever it was that maybe they offered him, to be an influencer or do something on tally. I don't know, but again, it's probably just typical Tate, just bullshitting. But the thing is, when it comes to this stuff with Andrew Tate, it's not that difficult to do some digging, and you can just he's snitched on himself so many times. And number two, it's just people out there on social media and that in that world do a good job of they'll have the interviews of what Tate comes out with, that has come out with recently, and then they'll show a clip of all the shit he used to speak when no one even knew who he was, but all the stuff about how when it came to all the guys that he conned and all that bullshit, conning people out of life savings. I think at the most he ever conned the man out of the life savings, thinking he was going to meet the woman of his dreams, was about overall £1 million. This is a very immoral person. Just really really a piece of shit, but at worst could be a rapist, and he's also a human trafficker. But the thing is, this could still be a while now. BBC are saying that it might not take place as trial. It could be a good few years until it actually goes ahead, because they're saying it's such a complex case with this. But I just feel now we're just going to hear more and more shit from Andrew, and then probably his brother Tristan, the lesser known Tate. But just the same old shit. And it's going to be the people who just answer softball questions, and let's face it, it's the same people that treat them as if they are innocent. I mean, they're on their side. Let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. There's a reason he's doing these interviews with people that are going to, ask questions in a way that's going to ultimately, for the most part, protect them. That's why he does the interviews. He's done one with Candace Owens. He's done one with Tucker Carlson, Patrick Bet David, Valuetainment, and then the Scottish guy, James English. James English, funnily enough, he did an interview almost about exactly 12 months before Tate blew up. He blew up, I remember, late June last year, and then but he did an interview with Tate in 2021. On his YouTube, he has it as The Life of Andrew Tate, but I actually remember seeing it before, and it was The Life of a Pimp, My Life of a Pimp, or something like that. But James very smartly changed it, though, to make it sound a little bit better. But the thing is, again, it goes back, I always say this, it looks like a duck, walks like a duck and quacks, when it comes to Tate. And, he's already been bragging about all this stuff about women and what he's done and the webcam business and the women that work for him. And then, but you just tell that there's so many contradictions and the timelines are so totally off. And when he claimed that he was out of the webcam business in 2020 in an interview, but then later on he said he was on a tweet or something, he was bragging about how he's got women working for him. So I don't know. Tate's, it's going to be tough. I don't know if Tate's going to get out of this, because I think, my guess would be the prosecutors, they're going to be on him like white on rice. The prosecutor, all these things and all the shit that Tate has said in the past it can and will be used against them in court. No doubt about that. But also with this video, I wanted to bring to the attention. So last week, Andrew Tate did an interview with Candace Owens. Candace Owens, someone I can't really stand. I don't know what it is. She grates on me. Don't have time for her. At one point, I kind of did. But I said to myself, there was no way I was going to get through this and then do a whole video on it, and I could maybe get a bit of clout and a lot of clicks on it. But to me, it just wasn't worth it, because I can't stand hearing Tate talk all that much, and I can't really stand Candace Owens either. So Candace Owens, somebody that's obviously going to give Tate a free pass. She's going to give up her conservative principles that she claims to have when it comes to family and being just all-around decent person. I thought that's what conservatism was about. Call me naive. It's about trying to uphold quite a high moral standard. So she did an interview with Tate, and there's a clip. I got it. I was looking at Sam Cedars' YouTube channel, The Majority Report with Sam Cedar, and these guys are quite left wing, and they'll take the mickey out of people who are in the right wing. But overall, I don't mind watching their show, even though I don't particularly agree with them. We're different sides of the political. We're worlds apart politically, but I was interested just to see a little short clip. I thought, okay, 2-3 minute clip, I can stand that, So this was a clip that, this is a short clip of Andrew Tate, and him and Candace Owens are speaking about, it starts out him talking about stuff to do when it came to, what happened 3 years ago, and then it led to the big, I guess you call scamdemic. And then Candace Owens gets into a little bit of her kind of, does a little anti-woman rant. So check this out, this clip here from the Andrew Tate Candace Owens interview.
And I can just think of COVID, and I use it as an example because it's the most recent large psyop they've attempted on us, where the amount of people I saved personally, I must have saved 200 people's lives from that vaccine. Me personally, just because me as a man, they'd come to me and go, I want to travel, and I'd say, listen, I don't even have time to explain to you, but have I ever been wrong? No.
This is straight from the Barbie movie.
Why aren't you in England anymore?
A year later, they're like, I'm so glad I didn't get that. I'm like, I told you. Like, it's amazing, what a masculine essence can do. So that's another reason it's under attack, because if they can remove the masculine essence from society, well, now you have a society. Imagine a society where you can control purely with emotional arguments. We're almost there.
We are in a matriarchy, and this is why they accuse me of being an internalized misogynist, because I'm able to think through and acknowledge the flaws of what happens in society when women get power. And if you want to know what happens, look around you. Women fall for emotional arguments the entire time. They show us a commercial, show us. It's so sad. And before they get to the rational aspects of it, they're already invested emotionally. And I think that virtually every societal ill that we are facing today is because of women. And I think the greatest recent example of that is the Bud Light controversy.
See, there you go. There's a clip there. I wasn't going to keep it playing, getting into all that stuff there about the whole Bud Light trans influencer thing, like whatever. But so that stuff there that Tate was saying. So first off, Tate says that the whole thing that went down 3 years ago was a psyop. You know what? Well, that's actually one thing that I would agree with Tate on. So first off, Tate's talking about, oh, about 200 guys came to ask if I should get the, the JAB. So that's just probably Tate exaggerating. Maybe just you got one or two people messaging him about it. But I suppose that's just, you could just put that down to Tate being a big bullshitter, big ego, blowing things up. I mean, it's what Trump does a lot, right? I mean, Trump's known for that, and I'm sure Tate and a lot of other people will do that shit as well. But so I mean, it's classic Tate, thinking he's got all the answers for a young man. But and then it gets into the stuff about, removing the masculine essence from society. Well, Tate also said, am I ever wrong? That's just his giant ego right there. But hey, maybe he was just being a little bit facetious there, whatever. But when you get into the stuff about removing the masculine essence, and then it's all you can do is that's it. You control people with their emotions. And it's like, well, yeah, you can make an argument. You can make the argument he's got a bit of a point there with that. But I mean, this is the thing when Candace Owens gets into this, and this is the thing where I don't know exactly what point she's trying to make. Or is it just the typical, hey, I'm a right-winger, hey, I'm going to do the typical right-wing talking points and say what I know people on the right want to hear? Oh, this is generally what she thinks, and it's quite it's a little off. I mean, so she starts going on about, well, it's the matriarchy, and I get accused of being an internalized misogynist. Well, to be fair, Candace, I don't think anyone's really accuses you of doing that. I think some people think you're a bit of a bullshitter and you're a bit of a right-wing grifter. But whatever, I don't think people are going around thinking, oh, Candace Owens, she's an internalized misogynist, fuck Candace Owens. No, I don't think it's anything like that. But, she starts getting into the stuff about, first off, she's saying that the matriarchy has been removed, right? The matriarchy is, it's now a matriarchy. It's more about the women now. The women are going to be the ones in power. The women are in the household. It's simply the women. The woman is going to be the one who is wearing the trousers, right? That's what she's getting at. But the thing is, I mean, Candace, my guess is Candace, and rightfully so, she prides herself on being a strong woman. So my whole thing would be, she's making the point about, first off, she says, this is the thing, I quoted, got to quote this, right? She said, virtually every societal ill we're facing is because of women. And look, I'm not a male feminist by any stretch of the imagination, but that is like such a blanket statement to make. Virtually every societal ill we're facing is because of women. Like, to me, I mean, and I don't think I've misinterpreted this, but really, what she's saying to me between the lines is just fuck all women. It's all your fault. That's what I get from this. I don't know if I've misconstrued this. I don't think I have. But I think that's the message that she wants to get out there. Because I guess there is that... I mean, a lot of people on the right will have this mindset. It is, you suppose, the traditional mindset. The man goes to work. The woman stays at home. She takes care of the kids. That kind of thing. I'm not going to get into the super sexist, oh, women just have to be cooking and cleaning, because I'm not about that shit. But, I came from a very traditional household of my dad worked, my mum stayed at home to raise me and my brother. And it was quite convenient. My mum actually ended up doing classroom assistant work at my primary school. She finished earlier. She did it with the young kids. I was the older class at the time. And then, she's finished school early. She's finished work earlier, and then she's home, and then I get home, she's there. So there's no childminders or nannies or nothing like that. But again, what she's saying though is such a blanket statement. But and like I say, I'm not I'm a feminist, a male feminist by any stretch of the imagination. But to just be like more or less saying between the lines, hey, fuck all women. Every society ill we're facing, it's all your fault. But the thing is, where she goes wrong is she doesn't dissect the problem. Let's say that is the problem. The problem is, if it's because women are wanting to be like, they want to become like the man, essentially, you've got to realize that these problems have been going back from the 60s. This was like the breakdown of, and it was specifically targeted the African American community, the black community. So it's your people, Candace. There's so many families that ended up and kids that grew up just in a single parent household. More often than not, it was just raised by their mum. In some cases, just raised by their dad. And it was that problem, especially when you're raised by the mum, is that then at that point, it's going to be struggle for the women to raise the kids, have a job at the same time. So what happens? They're dependent on the state, the welfare state. That's caused a problem in society. Absolutely. People might think this is some anti-socialist rhetoric here, and I don't care whether you think it is or it isn't. That's not my point. But that has caused a problem in society. That divorces are sky high, people are getting split up more often, and kids are being raised just with one parent. It's not good. But it's the thing of like Candace Owens saying like, fuck all women. But then she prides herself in being a strong woman. So it's like, which one is it? She's making the point about how women will be suckers for all like adverts, seen an advert, and they'll be pulled in. There's kind of, just how it is in any advert, if it's some emotional, whatever piece thing, something that's going to tug on your heartstrings. And basically women are always going to fall for it, is what she's saying. But then, and this is how I see it, people might agree, disagree. Well, the thing is though, if women are going to become more like the man, they're going to be, I guess, using their head more than their heart. So then the emotion is gone. They're going to be thinking more than they're going to be thinking more than feeling. So then at that point, they're not going to be suckers for this stuff that you're talking about. They're going to be susceptible to all that. Because at the end of the day, I believe, Candace, and you've probably made this case on your videos, you know what I mean? You've probably said this stuff before, is that the problem is that women want to be like the man. Women don't want to be, having kids. Like, people make that thing about the comedian Chelsea Handler about how she's older now and, she's trying to, like, almost like she's kidding herself on that she's happy not having children. I guess single woman, mid-late 40s, doesn't have kids. But the thing is, women, if they end up being more powerful, then that emotion will go away. Because they want to be like the man, then surely doesn't that mean then that feeling, that thing of emotion that females have, it wouldn't be there anymore, right? Because that's the thing. I mean, ultimately, yeah, I don't think it's a sexist thing to say women are more emotional than men. Like, I know with my mum and my dad, I can have more emotional, deep conversations with my mum and say things to my mum I wouldn't say to my dad. That's not to mean I don't love my dad as equally as much as I love my mum, but that's just how it is. You know what I mean? It's that weird thing with Candace Owens. It's almost like the message that she's saying is, I'm proud to be feminine, but I'll shit on other women, saying that almost all society's ills we face is because of them. So it's a bit strange of the message of Candace Owens. I don't know what the hell she's saying. Or it's just she knows what she's saying and she wants it to be some anti-woman rhetoric because I guess that's the cool thing to do. There's certain cool things and things you've got to get across when you're in the right wing, And it's not even now. Now with the right wing, it's kind of sad to see that people at one point I believed to have credibility, who I looked up to and I had some respect for, now they've almost become kind of parodies of themselves. Like, they really have. I looked up to people. I mean, I had time for people like Paul Joseph Watts and Alex Jones at one point. I even had some time for Candace Owens. I remember a few years back, and I very rarely used Twitter, and I only had about 10 followers. I actually tweeted her, praising her. It was one of my few tweets, because I thought she spoke the truth. But it's just narrative. It's just narrative with these people. It's just to get their narrative, and their, that's it, spinning the narrative. And this is the stuff, and I'm trying to tie it back into Tate, because I've gone a little bit of a rant here with this stuff there with Candace. But when it comes to Andrew Tate's, he's a smart guy. He grew up, his dad was a grandmaster in chess. Tate was smart to, ingratiate himself with other people, and, we call, other people on the right wing. So, you see a photograph here. This might have been 2017, 2018 time. Tate has a little bit more hair here. He's friends with Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson looks like he's happy to be there with him. He actually looks like he's the one taking the picture. And then later on, you have a picture there, Andrew Tate. Looks like he's holding the MAGA cap, Make America Great Again. You have Candace Owens there in the middle. And you have Paul Joseph Watson on the right. And there you go. They all seem to be all nice. I'm sure all friendly. I don't know when it comes to timing. I don't know if this was with Candace Owens, if this was maybe just before the whole, when she blew up after the Kanye West, I like the way Candace Owens thinks tweet. But he made himself to be all pally with these people. I think there's even a photo online with him and Nigel Farage as well. And I mean, these guys, okay, did they know at this time that this guy was going about, holding women against his will? Allegedly, that's what happened at his home in Romania. And, was he also, did they know about his webcam business, and did they know the kind of, the real, the dodgy, sketchy shit that he would do, and the way he would lure men in, thinking that they're talking to a woman that they're going to meet, and then getting them to give them all their money. They might have not known that. So there is, I suppose, some, on their part, plausible deniability. But I still think they had probably an idea of what this guy was really like, I feel. But now it's all out there with the stuff of Andrew Tate. These guys aren't stupid. They can do a little bit of digging online, get to the truth, get to the... it's all there. All the stuff is there. And very few people, there's a couple of people who exposed Tate in this alternative media community. You've got, like, Sitting Girl, Liz Wheeler, conservative podcaster. She does a pretty good job. There's a whole video of her. And she's, even though she likes Candace Owens, which, fair enough, but, she does a good job exposing Tate. There's a couple other people there on the right as well, but very few, though. So many other people are falling for this stuff, but the sad thing is, I think they know what they're doing, though. I wouldn't call them conservatives. I would call them conservatives. Capital C, capital O, capital N. They don't represent true conservatism. True conservatism would be wanting the best for your family and trying to be the best you can be, and just respecting tradition, because tradition works, for the most part. But I don't think they're about that, really. I think they're just about their little group, their little circle, and it's for clicks, for likes, and for clout. That's what it's about. I'm going to quote somebody here, Ultimate Warrior. He was a conservative guy, former wrestler, was WWE champion. He said, people who get paid claiming they know better need to think and act better. It's not all about clicks and views and clout, If that's really what it was about for me, I would have striked while iron was hot, so to speak, and got in on that stuff last week with Andrew Tate and Candace Owens. But it is quite sad when you see all these people that, at one point had a bit of credibility, seemed to care, seemed to want things to be better. But it's just, it seems to be very much a thing of preaching one thing and practicing another. I don't know, man. That's just, I'm an idealist, it's the idealist in me, I just wanted to believe that what these people were saying was true. And it's sad to see that, they're really, a lot of them, just nothing but hypocrites. It's been exposed. And it's just all that shit they would always used to say about, right-wingers would say, oh, let's say someone was on the right was being criticized by somebody on the left. And they would always say, like, oh, well, if that was somebody on the left, they would always get a free pass, in the mainstream media, and people wouldn't attack them, rah, rah, rah. But it's like, now when people are getting exposed, like Andrew Tate, and there's even with Dan Wooten with GBUs. People are just pretending as if it's not happening. You know what I mean? It is literally you're burying your head in the sand, hoping within a few weeks it's going to go away. But this stuff with Andrew Tate won't go away. And, you know, I'm not fooled by the hypocrisy when it comes to Candace Owens. Sadly, Tucker Carlson, because I used to think he was, I mean, he's okay-ish. Valuetainment, you know, he does a good enough job. But again, all these people just treat Andrew Tate like he's an innocent man, you know? It's like, come on, there's got to be a bit of balance there. There is got to be a bit asking somebody tough questions. It doesn't have to get in a big spat like Tate had with the person who interviewed him on the BBC. But do your job properly as somebody who's, you pride yourself in being like a podcaster, asking all the tough questions. Ask Tate some fucking tough questions, you know? But yeah, those are my thoughts overall on that, guys. Thought I'd just comment on this stuff with Tate. You know, thought, well, time was right now, obviously, with the stuff coming out about the house arrest. It could still go on for a while, but I mean, Tate will probably still, I mean, he's very active on Twitter, and he'll probably be out there on the, you know, he'll be doing a lot of different, probably, podcasts now, because he can get in about, and he can, you know, he can, I mean, he's probably other people that's had him on before, Rob Moore, other people, they'll all be kind of probably chomping at the bit to get them on their show, because then they'll get a lot of clicks and make money. So yeah, it is what it is, huh? It is what it is. But those are all my thoughts on that, guys. I might probably do a Dan Wooten video later on, see how I get on with things, but that's my thoughts for now, though. So thank you very much.